During the 90s, Sweden went through a big economical crisis, and Haninge was a municipality that was really badly hit by this crisis. So when they were slowly recovering in the beginning of the 21st century, they decided to build this house, and it was like the politicians wanted to give something back and say, okay, we're going towards a more positive future. And we want to build a prestigious building. I mean, today we have about 1,000 people that visit the house every single day. What we miss now that we would maybe add if we were to build this house again is more space for people to participate. In that sense, it's a very traditional cultural institution where you would expect the audience to come and be a passive audience and just take part of what we present. And of course that's not how we work today. And there is not a bourgeois or an elitist cultural audience in Haninge that would go to the opera or go to the modern museum and naturally take part of high culture. So we need to work in a participatory way all the time and involve people in what we do. Within 10 years they're going to double the inhabitants here, and they're actually going to build like a city here. And they also want us in the cultural department to be very much involved, because they know that building a city and building a society is not only about putting up streets and houses, it's also about having a dialogue of who do we want to live here, and what are the people that living here, what kind of lives are they going to be living, what kind of services do they need, and who are they? And in that context, of course, Corners is a project that is very suited to come here at this point in time, and it's also financially supported by the City Planning Department. Because this is the kind of project they want. They want to have a more international, they want to bring in an international perspective.
Andra världskrigets ockupation av Tyskland alla fyra. Highlight av standard av centrum centrum. We surround our own hands, a job for hand. Sister in stone, red hands, red shoes, red lucky sister, put it on the way. Sister, your name, proud sorrowful.
The focus of our project is media and newspapers, meaning we are using the media as a tool and as a format to play with different artistic interventions and different forms of art. We had workshops with local children and also older people, and we shared some stories with them. We took some stories in return, and informed by these groups, we came up with the newspapers. The drawings and painting on the balloons we would choose as a form, as an interesting take on media. The drawings are from the kids mostly, but also with us. It's a collaborative but it's also interesting how the media, it can be framed in a different way. There is something really nice about the texture and about the shape of the balloon. That's why we took it. And also it's fun to work with.
From my grandpa's grandpa, I asked her one day, she told me that she was driving with money and out. She grew up in Florida, was born 3 years later.
The role of the curator is the link between the artist and the audience. As a producer, but the curator, of course, is making decisions which also overlap into the artistic. It's not about 30,000 people. We are not making pop festivals. We are not even making high art festivals. We will not receive any reviews in the art magazines. In this specific kinds of cases, in some places, when we are a part of a bigger festival, there will be even art buzz about it, but in this case it's not art buzz, it's citizen buzz. And I think it's not the only way to make art, but I think it's a really important aspect of art that has been forgotten. How it fits into the society we live in, how it connects to it. And these 150 anecdotes a day of meetings, of hello, of what are you doing here? I'm here because I come from Balkan, I have this and this reality in my life, where are you from? The strange, interesting, odd people that we have met in these neighborhoods, this is also an image of the world. It's an image, it's a part of our society that we have kind of forgotten.
What about the language?
So of course it's about artistic development as well, and not about social development. We are not social workers. We are not here to take responsibility. We drop in, we drop out. We're out of here. But if anybody gets a kick from it, or finds that they missed something in their neighborhood that was, they for just a moment got a glimpse of, it's like we have left a small dream. The strategy is very simple, interlocal as we call it. The international team who has grown together through a series of deep experiences of expeditions, but who are all independent and have their own works in other places going on. This is not the only thing they do. This is 4 to 6 weeks a year that they are engaged with us together. Drops into a local situation which is only partially prepared to receive them. It's not an official guest performance during a festival with an announcement and all of that. It all is created quite ad hoc.
Sort of enter this a neighborhood with quite defined area, and then we try to find a space that's available. Could be like an abandoned shop or something, and from this spot we try to connect with the people living here. So we have built these constructions outside and inside, and then we've been filming and taking photos together with the people who live here. So it's like a cooperation that develops during the 2 weeks. We're 5 artists from different countries in Europe, and we've been in this project together for quite many years now. We did some travels together, getting to know each other, and then we developed this project. I mean, the sort of glue would be the observation that we are observing people, they are observing us, and then these observations we made into films that some of the inhabitants have been commenting on the film, so they made like the soundtracks to them, and we took the footage, and yeah, so I mean, I guess it's also about creating a memory.
Public work of art in Haninge Kommun, and it's done by the artist collective called Raketa, and it was done in a very close collaboration with the nursery here, with the children and the teachers, and they ran a process that was ongoing for about 2 years, and we had no idea from the beginning what the outcome would be. And the artists themselves talk about this creation as it might be a work of art, it might be a piece of architecture, it might be a bridge, whatever. It's there for the children to participate and collaborate with.
a little bit of tragedy, a little bit of melancholy, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of strangeness that I don't understand. People go by out here. You saw it's not really working. It will be working at 7 o'clock this evening. When we finish here, the last thing will happen with Oh My Home. And they do a kind of action all over the plaza with those bags. But people walk by and we're passing out leaflets or just listening to them, and they stop and they say, what's happening here? And you say, well, what do you think is happening here? I don't know, I've seen those bags before. Aha, you have, and who has those bags? Have you seen a house wagon before? Have you seen a house wagon parked on this place? What does home mean to you? I don't know, and it's too complicated. I said, but you know, I can't tell you the answer because this is art, and art doesn't have any answers. And they say, yeah, that's right. Art's like that. That's the one thing that everyone, the most unemployed worker or the highest director, is in agreement about. Is art has a certain freedom that nothing else is allowed. You don't have to understand everything.